keeps things ticking over in midfield. He's performing very nicely again here. That is seemingly a problem for Yakoba Sabakamada, who's had a real roller coaster of a day here so far in Suez. Scored the opener, then conceded the penalty, and now needing some treatment. Didn't see anything obvious. Seemed to go down all of his own accord. Clearly onside. Otobo in the build-up to that goal. Took on his fellow number 7, Ronaldo Zay, first. Then Yangba left him for dead. With Biakolo in the way. Went for goal. Whilst he might not get the official assist. That was all about the Congolese super sub, Otobo. A crucial piece of play just 5 minutes after entering the fray. Besnat blocked off in no uncertain terms there by Dukalonji. I'm tired of seeing that from Otobo. Played the full 90 on match day 1. Surprised to see him drop out of the starting 11. Making perfectly clear, perfectly quickly to his manager just what he can offer. Makanza, the main beneficiary, walking the ball into the net. DRC now half an hour or so away from what would be a first ever win at the Under-20 AFCON. 4 draws, 2 losses across their multiple appearances. Abdius Yangba will need to be replaced, it would appear. Multiple players warm up, all staking their claim. Those 2 losses, 4 draws for DRC. They have always opened with a draw. 2-2 in 1989, 0-0 in 2013, 1-1 last week against Ghana. They've never, though, built on that opening draw with a victory. Could do just that here. Abdius Yangba will be forced off, unfortunately, it would appear. Turns 19 a week today. The Rendici Calcio Academy prospect, playing his club football in Italy. For now, CAR will soldier on. A man light, waiting for presumably Yangba's replacement to warm up. Numerical disadvantage or not, CAR determined to push on and find an equaliser of their own, but are up against it here. Unfortunate that was a little heavy, but Nutu's got there, and it's 3-1. And it's Samuel Ntanda with a header. Again, the same combination as against Ghana on match day 1. Bienvenu putting it on a plate for his captain. They might have opened the scoring here, the CAR, but it's it's all been downhill since then. Biancolo stares into the middle distance. Malamoto gives his defence what for, not for the first time. It was Ntanda who sent it out to his number 10. And Mabundu Manitu with another great delivery right onto the forehead of the centre forward. His second of the tournament. DRC's third of the day, and they are now in total control of this game with half an hour to play. Born in Brussels, Samuel Ntanda, of Congolese descent, has switched after playing for the Belgian under-18s and under-19s to play for the DRC under-20s. Les Leopards. And he is thoroughly enjoying his time with the Congolese side. Now winning a free kick. Immediately handed the responsibility of the armband. Youth product of Anderlecht, Mechelen, same as his fellow goal scorer, Noah Makanta, before moving on to Sampdoria, their youth academy 2.5 years ago. That's been missed at the back. It's going from bad to worse for the CAR. This time they escape unscathed after a piece of indecisive defending. It was Perry Wagwan. Misjudged that. His first involvement after replacing Yangba at right back. Straight in again, Matobo. Biancolo with an important challenge, an important block this time to keep them in this game. They can rediscover kind of form they showed early in the match. One goal, the momentum will swing once again. Clumsy tackle by Bradley Besnard on Jules Awoka. It's Yakoma Sabakamada who's back down, limping, one booted towards the sidelines. Is that about to be two fullbacks in a row? As an irate Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye lets the fourth official know exactly what he thinks of, I think, the fact that that substitution was delayed. Wagwan, I think, came on after the goal. It's a double change now. Off goes Baigoto for the man who scored the equaliser against Senegal, Diogen Pengazonia. And yes, it is, unsurprisingly, Yakoma Sabakamada also to make way for Kylian Chasport. Surprised to see Pengazonia not rewarded with a start here on match day 2 after a double change in attack for Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye. As I said, Besnard and Baigoto who got the nod. Pengazonia's very well taken goal. It's only earned him another half an hour or so here, and he produced another super sub performance. His fellow sub Chasport It's the first touch of the ball, a sliced one, which does nothing to worry Ryan Tutu. Tutu, part of the Strasbourg youth setup, another plays football in Liga. And like the Angers man on the opposing side, Kamada, who's now made way, would have been happy with the result at the weekend. Meanwhile, here in Suez, DRC back on the attack. Chasport with an interception and then a strong left boot there to ensure Bienvenu couldn't cause any more trouble.
Ce n'est pas parce qu'on est en télétravail qu'on doit bosser dans la cuisine. Le Bon Coin IMO, le bien pour tous. Découvrez maintenant.
It's just to finish that point, Ryan Tutu's Strasbourg beating Paris Saint-Germain, the French champions who only lost their first game of the season the weekend before. Beaten 2-1 by Le Racing, who continue their hunt for an unexpected Champions League spot. Very tight battle at the top of the French table. Tutu hasn't featured there as yet with Georgia Petrovic, the first choice keeper for Strasbourg. Chelsea loanee, has played a number of times for the Strasbourg B team in the CFA2. Also had to pick the ball out of the net here early on. Hasn't been overly troubled since and has done everything called of him. Everything asked of him in 3 quarters now almost of this game. It's more likely to be Malamoto worked here. Tander's first to the ball. It was good tracking back from Biacolo. Got in and put that behind for a corner, but this is not going to plan for the CAR. Continuing to find themselves on the back foot when they really have to be pushing on, looking for a second goal of their own. Well, Besnard trying to clear it away, inadvertently sending it into the danger area. No harm came of it, but it's still with the DRC here. Switch of play be picked up by Bienvenu. Lots of space now on the right-hand side for Matobo. He'll run at Besnard, take it past him, cuts it back brilliantly, killed, and then sent goalwards by Daniel Shilanda. DRC centre-backs getting in on the action. Brilliant first touch, decent effort, but Malamoto held on to this one. It's been his parries that have been the undoing more than once of his side, as was the case for Tutu at the other end. The XG now tells a rather similar story to the scoreline. Very different in the first half when CAR had the lead. XG now about 0.5 for the CAR, 3.26 for the DRC, and they have pretty much matched the expected goals with their actual goals. Could there be more to come? Not this time. Matobo There's been a real bright spark since coming on. Looking to profit from that through ball. Malamoto was alive to the danger. We said the mood was different in this Congolese squad. They believed this new crop of players could do something pretty special, something beyond their previous achievements, and it's starting to look that way. Decent chance they'll be top if it is to end the scoreline along these lines. Come the end of match day 2. We'll see what happens between Senegal and Ghana later. Two pretty evenly matched teams. You'd be surprised if they manage to produce a differential of more than 2 goals. 3 scored here for the DRC. But the job is not done yet. To be wary not to turn off. They won't punish there as the ball was sent forwards for the run of Pengazonia, who's shown what he can do on the counter already in this tournament, but on that occasion getting it all wrong with a rather hurried shot. He can't keep it in, full of running. Once again, the AS Douane youngster, both he and his captain on the opposite wing, Ronaldo Zay, part of the AS Douane Academy. DRC not having it all their own way here. Have to be careful in the final 20 minutes or so. Not to turn off and assume the job is done. The two rather cancelling each other out thus far. Kandila sends the ball towards Macanzo's on a hat-trick. Shot though, it's not from him. But his teammate in the Sunrise kit. The sun has gone down here in Suez, but it's still the Congolese who are making hay, whether or not it is shining. Tony Talassi will be a touch frustrated here, even with his side 3-1 to the good. Missed a penalty, unable to make amends thus far. Another double change for the CER, the final 2 available to Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye. comes Ryan Kolingba. Ronaldo Zay off once again, as is Bradley Besnan, a double change as well for the CAR. Both number 9s making way. Samuel Ntanda will hand off the armband to Mukandila, affectionately known as Semedo Mukandila. And waiting to come on, Honoré Bayanganisa Nakalamwa. And alongside him, Isak Lufwiku Timonakene. Will the pair of them look to provide even more? Well, that was very nearly one touch, one goal potentially for Lufwiku. More brilliant work down that left-hand side from Matobo. Surely he'll start match day 3. DRC have looked a totally different side. Since he arrived at half-time, here though, well, it's a threatening ball into the box from Sungi. Just slightly too much power. Nice idea. Heading in the direction of the other runner into the box. Gazonia determined to repeat his heroics from the other night. He'll have to score 2 though in 15 minutes, which remain here in Suez. Forwards towards Sungi, but unable to do anything really of note. CAR, they're seeing more of the ball here, but DRC are doing enough, and it's a needless free kick given away by Benjamin Adaro, who again has to be careful here on a yellow. By Benjamin Adaro, who again has to be careful here on a yellow from the first game. Second would see him suspended, and no need for cynical grabs of the shirt like that in what is bordering on a lost cause this late in the game. Certainly not worth missing the final group game for something as unnecessary as that. Oh. CAR might have more pedigree in this competition, but DRC certainly with the more impressive history overall in African football. 2 AFCON titles for the DRC senior team, though not under that name. A long time ago now, one in 1974 as Zaire, another in 68 as Congo Kinshasa. A few near misses though through the more recent years. 4th in the most recent edition in Côte d'Ivoire, the start of 2024. 3rd in 2015 and 1998. 6 other quarter-final appearances since the start of the 90s. And they will take place again in the upcoming AFCON in December, drawn alongside Senegal, Benin and Botswana in their group. Cup. Surprisingly, just the one appearance at the World Cup for the Congolese as Zaire back in the 70s. They failed to make it through the group stage compared to CER, the senior team, who have never made the AFCON finals. Came the closest in 2017 when they finished second behind the DRC in Group B in a year where only top of the group qualified. Finished bottom of the group in the qualifiers for the most recent edition, below Lesotho. Just one win, 5 defeats from their 6 games, and have won just 3 World Cup qualifiers ever. They impressed early on in this group stage, CAR, and credit to them here, they're not giving up. Got men over on the far side. Ryan Kalingba looking to make something happen, but forced to retreat and giving the ball away in the end. Still animated on the sidelines, he hasn't given up yet. Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye, frustrated or not. Daro sends it forwards, but no one there. Tutu can gather up. Sungi, impressively, still got energy in the tank after bombing up and down that left wing for 80 minutes plus now. Ferdinand Candila, now with the armband, wins the free kick up against Kalingba. Hard-working fullback from Cercle Don Bosco. Pacey, offers both in attack and defence. Overlapping runs, excellent crosses, intelligent movement. As you can see, great reading of the game there to intercept that pass before the offside flag had gone up. More than 80 accurate passes, more than their opponents for the Congolese side. It is a well-deserved lead. You have to say, had to fight back after that early blow. As they make their 4th substitution here, which will be the 2-goal hero, Noah Makanza, even if it's probably a combined distance of about 10 yards, if that, across those 2 goals. They are looking very good for 3 points here. On in his place comes Grady Katangulu. Still with 1 substitution available to him, should he require it. Perhaps keeping it in his pocket in case there is to be a CAR second here. Maybe throw in another defender, try and see them over the line. Kalingba will take a free kick in a decent position. Biakolo couldn't get his head to it. It's missed by Junior Nganza, but Magwan there to tidy up and send it back in the right direction, forcing his way through on the far side, but ultimately from Pengazonia has only resulted in Ryan Tutu being able to pick up the ball. He remained on it. It was actually Pengazonia who did the damage to, I think it's Awaka, it is indeed. Won the ball, but caught a bit of the man after. One of many battles between Biakolo and Tanda in his time on the pitch. Now be top scorer in the competition, along with a couple of others who got a brace on match day 1. Zabiri for Morocco, who unfortunately was injured in the process of scoring the second. And his teammate, Busnina, replacing him, scoring on match day 2. In fact, it is, Camera. Momo Camera. Of course, the current top scorer with a hat-trick for Sierra Leone against Egypt. Their 4-1 win a few days ago. But now, joint second top scorer, not bad at all for Samuel Ntanda. And the man who has since made way, Noah Makanza. That is a nasty collision. Lefiku, genuine attempt at the ball, eyes focused on it, but unable to get out of the way, and then catching Malamoto in the face, adding injury to insult that way round. Thankfully though, the young keeper seemingly fine to continue, shaking that one off pretty impressively. Looked like hefty collision. But we are back underway with it's under 5 minutes to play. It's now or never for the CAR. They could grab one back in the next minute or two. They'll make things interesting through to the final whistle, and far nervier for the DRC. Whilst they've kept running, kept their heads up, tried to get the ball forwards. Sense heads are just dropping a touch. Legs feeling the distance covered. That could be an opportunity though. Miss-hit clearance. Well, it dropped. In a threatening position, but Pengazonia couldn't make the most of it. Gone back in midfield by Nganza. See our midfielder wins a free kick. Which will be successfully taken at the second time of asking. Kalingba holds off the challenge. Biakolo tries to dance past a couple in the yellow-red fade. He ran down a blind alley. And now will be beaten to the ball by the speed of Matobo. Waits for reinforcements to arrive. And he was looking for his fellow nippy winger on the other side, Mabundu Manitu. Nice idea, just a little under hit. Messi, Mabundu Manitu. Whether a happy accident or a love of Messi by his parents, there are certainly similarities. A diminutive left-footed winger quick changes of direction. Brilliant passing. Been one of the best in Congolese colours. DRC's captain, Mukandila, was caught there by Sungi. Knocking the ball away. And the CAR winger landing with his studs on the right foot of the right back. Seems to have escaped without a booking. So we enter the final 90 seconds of the scheduled 90 minutes. Quick bit of treatment by the medics, and Mukandila is seemingly good to go again. Bienvenu gets us back underway. Plying his trade with Amiens in France, in Ligue 2, currently mid-table. Since he could catch the attentions of some higher up the French leagues, maybe elsewhere, if he can keep up these kind of performances. There as well, back defending. A few appeals from those in white though, presumably for a handball which would have been right on the edge of the area. VAR can check it. It might be too little too late now, even if it were to prove to be a spot kick. CAR have 10 seconds plus stoppage time to find 2 goals. They would only salvage 1 point. Malamoto well off his line. But slipping as he attempted to send that towards an attacker, and ball is out for a DRC throw. We did look to hit the left hand of Bienvenu. I think it may have just been outside the area. Imagine VAR will only get involved should that have been inside the area, and a clear offence worthy of a second viewing for referee Akesi Konan. We have played on into, as it was in the first half, 5 minutes of stoppage time, almost one of which has already come and gone. It's brought down edge of the area. It's queuing up here in CAR white, but it still won't happen. Pangazonia with a roar of frustration, as neither of his efforts found their way past Landry Soko, who has turned this one around. Culpable for the first goal, and now doing everything to keep this 2-goal lead. Kalingba with the in-swinger onto the head of Shilanda. Optimistic, opportunistic attempt from a long way out from Junior Nganza, one which comes to nothing. All is not lost though, must be said, for the CAR, depending on the results. Both here, which looks pretty much set in stone now, and later this evening they should still have an opportunity to turn things round with a giant killing on match day 3. As the final substitution of the match will take place. Bienvenu earning a well-deserved round of applause as he makes way for Meshak Shimanga. Up into the air, won by Aoka, who's still all over the middle of the park. dominate midfield. Kalimba tried to take that one quickly. Sold to retake it, but talking a little bit too much himself was Bienvenu, who's the latest to enter the referee's book. I think that's potentially what he was complaining about. Might have had a point as well. Marguan studs up there over the ball. Fortunately, no harm done to the young Congolese on the receiving end. There has been a fair bit of harm done to the morale of the CAR. They're still looking to get things done, get things underway quickly, but looking like they've run out of ideas as we enter the final minutes of stoppage time. Instead, it's DRC down the other end, looking to apply icing to the cake. Offside flag, though, up against Matobo. Catching the number 7 off guard there. Long ball, not quite back on side yet. Kandila getting his own back after having been on the receiving end of one or two tough challenges. That was in fact Radi Katungulu. 95 minutes have come and gone. Final throw of the dice for a consolation, but that didn't come off. Very little came off in truth for the CAR in the second half. If not, the final 80 minutes of the game, it was they who took the lead after 10 minutes through their left back, Rafael but once the DRC steadied the ship and got the lucky break of a VAR assisted penalty late in the first half, they never looked back. With 2 rebounds, first from the DRC penalty, second from Matobo's effort, moments after coming on at half-time. Samuel and Tanda, the captain, adding a third on the hour mark. 3-1, the final score in favour of the DRC.
Test the mic, test the mic.
Congratulations on the man of the match award.
Thank you. In French, français.
Congratulations on the man of the match award.
Thank you, thank you.
How do you feel about the award?